recording, and we are going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're
Good.
live.
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. It is currently 8 a.m. like normal. It is 71 degrees outside, and we have a high of 87 today, so it's going to be humid and muggy. My phone says we have about a 50% chance of rain. The weather says we have about a 20% chance of rain. We are in a slight tornado risk area today. So it's actually, but the high risk is significantly lower, like in southern Oklahoma. But that doesn't mean let your guard down. Like I said, it just means the conditions are favorable for more severe weather. So currently, traffic conditions are pretty fair right now. There's not, it's busy, but not like crowded. It's just steady flow of traffic into Tulsa. So if you have yet to leave and you have not commuted into Tulsa yet and you're traveling there, guess what? It's going to be a pretty decent little drive for you unless there's like a wreck further on up the road. So you should be okay. Your commute in Tulsa is going to be good. Now, with that being said, you guys know what the upcoming events in town are, so there's no reason for us to really recap much of that. Our topic today is one that we harp on a whole lot. At least we've been harping on it a lot here in the last couple of days. But the two primary issues that are kind of bubbling up in the media are Palestine, and now we've begun the month of one of the 7 deadly sins, Pride Month. So it is officially Pride Month, and the gays are celebrating their entire month. So soldiers and veterans get a day. Pride gets a month. I'm not sure why that is the way it is. I mean, are gay people really so oppressed? I mean, at least here in America, gay people are not oppressed here in America. They're not really discriminated against all that much. Sure, people might call you a name, but like I said, it's a free country. They're allowed to say to you what they want to say to you, just like you're allowed to go out and protest and march and do all those things. But, yeah. So there was where was that protest at, Chad? So there was it was in New York.
Philly.
Oh, Philly.
Philadelphia, yeah.
So there was a Pride parade in Philly, and Pride came into conflict with Pro-Palestine, what do you call it? Protest that was happening there too. And I should put it this way, if you know anything about Islam or Muslims in general, they do not like gays at all. Like, at all. So it's really funny that, again, the LGBTQ community feels connected to Palestine for whatever reason. This is what happens when you think all oppression is equal. It's not. So people think that, that Israel and the U.S. are oppressing Palestine through some type of colonialism. It's just a grievance culture, essentially. So what's happening right now is that the true believers are coming into conflict with the useful idiots in the Pride community. So the Islamic extremists are meeting the Pride people, and they're like, we're not on the same team. Like, you're useful idiots to our cause. It's like that kid that burned himself alive, that Air Force kid. Like, I'm burning myself for Palestine. It's like, you're a useful idiot. Like, they laugh at you. They're like, dumb Americans. We're literally killing American service members with our cause. Like, we're convinced our what do you call it? Our propaganda is manipulating them well enough to want to kill themselves for us. Yeah. How dumb are these people? Same with the gays in this particular case. They're like, we're out here protesting. We're on the same side. And they're like, no, we're not. No, we're not. We don't like gays in our country. It is a criminal offense to be gay in Palestine. You will either be jailed or they'll just kill you.
Yeah, it's very strange that the gay community has a very big problem with Christianity, which tolerates it, just like, as we always say, hate the sinner, not the sin. And then they support Palestine and these other Middle Eastern countries that would literally
throw them off a roof.
Yeah, jail them, kill them, and, toss them off buildings if they were in their country and openly homosexual. It's very strange.
Yes. Again, this is what happens with it. This is why cultural Marxism this is how it works. It doesn't matter what your issue is. You just jump onto a cause because you think anybody who's oppressed, any group that is oppressed, is on your team. You're all on the same side. You're not. There are different types of oppression in the world. And in this world, there is a type of oppression against gays. And there's only one place that really exists. It's in the Middle East. The Middle East hates gay people. They hate them. Here in the U.S., you know, I have gay friends, and they'll tell me, goes, we were at a bar, and we were doing line dancing, and some guy came up and called us, you know, faggots. And I was like, well, did they beat you up? Did they hurt you? And they're like, no, but it was just really rude. And I went and talked to the owner and told them about it, and it's just like, okay, well, that's the risk you have in living in a free country. If, you know, there's some homophobic dudes in there who are looking at you and see you holding hands and kissing a dude, you're in a public place, essentially. They can come up to you and say whatever they want. So I understand that nobody likes to be insulted. Nobody likes that. But that is the risk you run in going out in public and doing those things. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it's right, but at the same time, you don't have a right to tell them they can't say that. Just like you can just be like, that was very rude. And you just get thick skin and you move on. But yeah, I again, if that's the worst thing that's going to happen to you in this country, then you have it pretty good. Like I said, in the Middle East, it is not that way. If they find out you're openly gay, you're going to be jailed, fined, or what typically happens is you get tossed off a building or hung up by a flagpole.
Or here's another one that a lot of people don't realize is if they find out that you're gay in some, I forget which country this was. It might have been Iraq at the time. Mm-hmm. But if they find out that you're gay, they'll do two things. They'll either arrest you or they'll force you to get
castration.
No, transgender surgery. So that way it's not gay anymore. So think about that. That's a punishment for being gay.
Yeah, transitioning in Middle Eastern countries is a form of punishment. So they've made you go, well, you're a woman now, so it's not gay. Congratulations. So the people who are forcing into the trans issue into this, it's like, guess what? It's a criminal offense over there, and that's a punishment. And this is like it's a goal here. It's like a dream. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to cut my body parts off.
Mm-hmm. And in other countries, it's a punishment.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's just very weird. And again, pro-Islam and pro-Pride, you know, they don't make good bedfellows. Mm-hmm. Literally, they don't make good bedfellows. So
I've got the video pulled up if you want.
Play it. Right. Show them what's going on.
This is the conflict at the Philly Pride Parade.
No pride in Palestine. It is. Again, traditional Muslims do not like gay people. They had videos of kids stepping on the pride flag. Like, they were like, gays are gross. Gays are gross. You know, like, this is how they believe. You know, if you are homosexual, you do not want Islamic immigration into this country. If you are gay or a minority, you do not want Islam being imported into this country because they do not like you. They do not. If you agree with their plight, good. You're a useful idiot to their cause. But if you ever want them to come bat for you, they're never going to do that. In fact, they'll bring the bats and they'll beat the gay out of you. That's just how Islam is. So again, it's very. I mean, you got some other. Why don't you pull up all that other, the other articles we've got that kind of drive our point home.
Well, here's the first article that I have pulled up right here. This is for the people who all forgot. It's from The Guardian, mm-hmm. which is a more left-wing outlet.
Yeah.
A sense of betrayal. Liberals dismay as Muslim-led U.S. city bans pride flag.
Mm-hmm.
and this was in Hamtramck, Michigan. They
Yeah.
elected their first Muslim mayor to the council, to majority council in 2015, and they voted to get rid of the pride flag. Now, in 2023, back in November, a couple of officials sent in a appeal to the court, to a higher court, to get this repealed as anti-free speech. It's being ruling against free speech.
And thank goodness they did that, because again, this is what happens when you allow people into your country that do not share your country's values. Muslims do not share our sensibilities of free speech. They will use free speech against us to take away free speech, but they do not share it like that. Like them banning the pride flag, that flags are part of speech. They are an outward expression of your political or moral beliefs. Well, guess what? They're like, we ban that because that's gay, and we don't like that. So that's what happens when these people do not share our values. They don't believe in free speech the way Americans believe in free speech. They believe in allowing the Quran. Like, good. I'm a Bible thumper. I'm a Christian. I'm like, yes, God is the person who I answer to first, and then it's faith, family, friends, government. Like government's number 4.
Yeah.
But
government's last on that list of
they're
people.
Like when they're religious, Islam is not just a religious prescription. It is a political subscription too. So don't be shocked when you see this kind of stuff. They do not share our beliefs. They do not share our principles. They do not share our values. Again, if they're throwing people off roofs in other parts of the world where Islam is the majority, that will happen here eventually when it becomes the majority. So, yeah, it's just scary stuff. And then Jack Posobiec posted a really great picture. I think Chad just had it pulled up. But, yeah, this is a great meme response of what the visual representation of what's going on right now. I mean, that's perfect. Pro-Palestine supporters beating up the LGBTQ community because that's how they feel, and that's how it's going to be in real life too. And then you have us, the people who, like, you're courting your own destruction, us Trump supporters back there filming it, going, yeah, you asked for this. Don't be unhappy when violence comes, when you get what you ask for. And it's not going to come from the people you think it's going to come from. It's going to come from the people that you're supporting. I mean, Christopher Hitchens famously said, do not trust these people. They will be the people holding the gates open when the barbarians come running in. Mm-hmm. They will be the facilitators of your destruction. You are facilitating your own destruction if you are for this. Especially if you're in the pride community.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's 100% right. And it's more of like, in this case, I believe it's more like an I told you so. In this case, is like the Trump supporters are just filming it because we told you this was going to happen. So it's kind of like a sense of catharsis. It's cathartic to watch.
And it's Schadenfreude, taking pleasure in the suffering of your enemies. I mean, this is what happens. I mean, I don't know, folks. If you have a brain, you see this coming. But people on the left, so the conservative principle is people are inherently bad, and we have to overcome our fallen nature. That's basically what the Bible teaches us. We are fallen in our current state or in our normal state, and we have to overcome our sinful nature and our shortcomings. Leftists believe that people are just inherently good and will choose to do the good things of their own volition. Mm-hmm. That's a philosophy that can only have come out of, basically, if you had lived in this Christian culture that we've cultivated over the last, 100 years of our country?
200 years of our country's existence. Yeah.
Because if you lived before then, you would know people's nature is not inherently good. People have always been fighting and killing each other over resources, women, whatever
money,
it is.
Gold, whatever it happens to be.
Resources and women, man. That's what we've been fighting and killing each other for literally since humans have lived. And now they're like, no, people are inherently good, and it has nothing to do with Christianity. BS. The moral foundations of Christianity, the building blocks, the pillars of this country that was founded on, is the reason you're even able to think that way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, people just want to throw out that the whole Bible part, and they just go, no, it would have happened naturally. Definitely not. Definitely not. I would say it's ahistorical to think that. But yeah, are there any other images related to?
Well, I mean, we've got a whole bunch that you had me pull up here.
Oh yeah,
we've
that's
got
right.
the one of the guy avoiding. You want me the one avoiding the stairs?
Yeah.
Or
So, so again, you're courting your own destruction, Pride community, by supporting Palestine and by supporting Islamic immigration into this country, and unfettered immigration into this country in general. So you're a very, very small portion of the population, but you think you're bigger than you are because there's just so many loud, obnoxious people in your movement. And this right here, so whenever Pride happens, and again, I don't understand how gay people think they're oppressed. Literally every company changes their logos. I mean, it's June. Every company has changed their logo to Pride. And this is how us normal people feel whenever Pride Month rolls around. Go ahead and play this video, Chad.
Yeah, and I'd also like to I'll point out something when this video's done too.
Okay, yeah, go for it. I just want to get coffee. I don't want to be hit in the face with all this Pride stuff.
I hate it. Stop touching it.
Hero. What a legend.
Said, but no, like I said, I will tell you this. I have seen this before. This happens every year.
Yeah,
and
that kid walked up the side and they painted that too.
Yeah, this little corner over here on the left that has the bigger, taller steps.
Yeah, it's like a bench area
kind of thing. And a kid actually walked up those ones like in a
to avoid.
Stick. So
yeah,
it's literally they're gonna keep doing this. Eventually, they're gonna paint the pole, and then people are gonna start walking on this little section over here that's all brick, and they're just gonna keep painting it because like people make these videos, they go viral, and they're like, how can we solve this issue? Let's just paint everything.
Yeah, what they'll do is they'll put like grease or something on the pole. It'll be even more inappropriate. They'll put lube on it, KY jelly. But yeah, that we salute him because like that's a good representation right there of this entire month of June. We're just gonna get hit in the face with Pride everything now.
Yeah, even if you don't want to, you personally don't want to, they're just gonna keep throwing it in your face.
The Halo thing. So this is a perfect example. It's like we talked about this multiple times. When I say they're coming for your children, whenever the counter argument with people, why do you care about this? It's like, because it's constantly being thrown in our face. They're so obnoxious about it. It is ridiculous. You cannot escape it in any aspect of life. Take a look at this picture that Chad just pulled up on the computer here. Halo. I love Halo. I love that. It's one of the. I don't get to play video games as much as I used to anymore because I'm busy with a lot of stuff. But whenever I do get time, I like to hop on and play Halo with my best friends online, and we just go out and we just play Halo again, and it's fun. It makes me relive the old high school and college days whenever we were playing Halo 3 together. But this right here, Halo posts this, and it's like going, Happy Pride, we're going to give you free skins for Pride, and you're just like, oh my gosh, dude, this is a game about
fighting aliens
and killing people, and they have to throw this in there. It's about saving humanity from the brink of extinction. And yet it's like, oh, by the way, you know what the most important thing about protecting Earth is? Keeping Pride safe.
And who's the most? That's the other thing. If we're talking about trying to save humanity from the brink of extinction, what is the one group of people that are not going to save humanity from the brink of extinction?
Yeah, no kidding. So that's a really good example. It's the same as like whenever So I don't know if you guys have watched the new TV series on Amazon Prime called Fallout. It's based on a video game series, too. It's actually pretty decent, the Fallout show. People who play the game hate it because it's not super lore accurate. It's decent, but there's just a lot of missing context.
They turn the bad guys into Vault Tech, which was not the case in the video game series. Mm-hmm. And, it's Vault Tech. And also, the premise of it made zero sense because they're like, we're the richest people, we're the richest companies in the world, and we want to make more money. Okay, so we're going to kill off all the population that we deem unworthy. How is that going to make you more money?
Yeah.
That's actually going to reduce
It'll
the
just
amount
keep
of money.
us in power. So it's just dumb. But if you really, if you think critically about the plot of the show, you'll be like, it's dumb. But the show itself is really not unbearable. But there is a lot of ridiculous camp in it too. But they have trans people in the show and they have gay people in the show, which, again, Fallout is like a 1950s what if scenario if nuclear war happened in the 50s.
Yeah, if the big fear of nuclear war happened, what would have happened? What if?
Years later, after these people who live underground in these vaults, they come back out and it's like, oh yeah, by the way, there's still gay people and there's trans people in the world. It's like, yeah, those people wouldn't exist because we would need to rebuild society. If those people existed in that show, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. Sorry, that's a tangent. We just went off on.
It's a very long tangent, but no, you're right. Seeing homosexuality
it's a luxury
lifestyle in a world. It's only can exist in a world that you have all your needs met. Mm-hmm. Because in a world where you're fighting to survive, there's no such thing as
I mean, yeah. Think about this. Through all of human life, all we've done is procreate and build society. And now we're at a point where we have so much luxury that we're literally talking about depopulation. They're like, there's just too many people in the world. We got to start killing off people. And that's why I think that's a big reason why there's this huge push for this kind of stuff, pride stuff, because they go, this is a way that we can subtly indoctrinate and manipulate the population into wanting to live a hedonistic homosexual lifestyle. It's a way for us to population control. If we can convince the masses that being gay is normal, then guess what? We can slow the population growth of people. But I mean, there's only one culture that's actually growing in population every year, and that is the Islamic one. And like I said, eventually it'll just overtake the world. Because they're the only culture that just like, oh yeah, just women don't have rights, and they're just baby makers. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's it right there. I mean, Pride is just, especially this month, but I mean, it's every day. I mean, it might as well just be Pride Day, Pride Month, Pride Year. Yeah. Because 100%. Pride is just thrown in our face every second of every day. And remember, for those of you who are Bible thumpers like me, pride is a sin. Why are we worshiping the sin of pride, let alone for an entire month? Why are we doing that? So, I guess I'll leave it right there because we've hammered that one to death.
Well, then also hammering home the point of they're coming for your kids argument that we always make.
One more
Here's
video.
This one of activists saying that your children will join us.
Yeah.
Folks, I won't change your little town. Your own children will. Woo! Your children will see us. Your children will love us. And your children will join us.
Wow.
I won't change your little...
That was met with cheers. Unbelievable. I mean, that was creepy. I mean, he looks like he's dressed like Emperor Palpatine, too. Mm-hmm. Join the dark side, my little homosexual children. Join us. We have lube. This is ridiculous. The fact that people like that think that they can speak openly in public shows you a huge problem in the moral foundations of our society now. I mean, that guy should be hiding in a basement somewhere. He should not be out in public dressed as Emperor Palpatine giving that speech. I mean, he should have been booed off the stage, and there should have been police officers running up there going, sir, we're going to need to check there's a warrant for your arrest now, and we want to check your laptop for any pornographic images of children. That's what should be happening to that dude.
100%. I mean, it's creepy. They're always saying, we're coming for your children. We're coming for your children. Or your children will join us. Your children will love us. Very strange.
Yeah, that is as demonic as it gets right there. Like, they want to steal children's innocence from them. They want to expose them to a sexually degenerate lifestyle. And some of you be like, oh, love is love, love is love. It's like, that doesn't sound like love to me. That sounds like wanting to obnoxiously bring children into a world that they don't need to be exposed to until they're
way older,
significantly older. Like, why children specifically? Like, even if you said teens, I'd be like, sure, you know, like 16-year-olds, whatever, you know, like they have a little bit better way to reason, I suppose. But holy cow, it's always kids. The language is always kids and children, never young adults. And that's like, they got to get them young. Mm-hmm. They got to indoctrinate them quick. It's just disgusting. You know, it's definitely wrong, and it bothers me immensely. And again, we have this whole month of Pride that we're forced to celebrate with them.
Yeah, and with all these Pride Month included, this is included with Pride Month, but all these teachers that are, it's like mandatory. I feel like it's like mandatory in school.
Yeah, that teacher that made them pledge of allegiance to the gay flag.
Yeah. And everyone's wondering why homeschooling rates are just skyrocketing.
Yeah. We don't trust strangers. People are, I mean, it used to not be that people who were public school teachers were strangers to your kids. It'd be like, oh, yeah, I know Susie, who's the teacher in school, you know, and if something happened in the classroom, you'd be able to go, Susie, you know, what's going on here? But now it's like the teachers are like, they're untouchable. It's like, no. You're not allowed to talk to me about that stuff. I run my classroom the way I run my classroom. It's like they need to fear what parents will do and or say. I mean, teachers, you're in a service industry too. You're like you're a step up from a McDonald's worker. You take the parents' orders and you produce the product. And the product better be a good education for their kids, not indoctrination.
That too. And we have a right to complain about the service if we don't feel the service was done right. If your McDonald's order is done wrong, you go take it back. You have two choices. You either settle with what you got, or you go back up to the counter and make them correct your order.
Yeah, well, I mean, but it's like, I just want my kids to learn how to do math. It's like, well, my kids don't know how to do math, but they sure do know what pride is.
Yeah.
They sure do know how to go to a rally and march and protest. They can make signs. I guess it's all arts and crafts now.
Exactly my point with the hamburger reference right there. Yeah, my kids need to learn how to do math, but we're teaching them about pride.
Well, math,
I don't appreciate
math
this
is oppression. We have to teach you why learning math is oppression and systemically racist.
Well, according to James Lindsay, you know,
it is.
It is oppression.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's about all we got for you today. We've spent it all on pride. So welcome to.
Did you not want to go over the Toronto?
Well, we can check that one out tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll push through because we only got 2 minutes until it's time to actually get to work. So.
Yeah.
But that's about all we've got for you today. We just went over one of the 7 deadly sins. So that was our lecture over the pride, one of the 7 deadly sins, and I guess we'll be celebrating it all this month. So the whole month of June will be pride, so it's going to be thrown in your face everywhere. I mean, it was on Facebook today. It's on all over Instagram. All the companies are changing their logos.
But just remember, the month of July is actually MAGA month.
That's right. Well, yeah. That's about all we've got for you today, though. I hope that everyone has a wonderful day. This is the Twins with the Owasso Live. This was the Morning Loop. We are signing off. God bless you.
See you later, everybody.